Hallo Freunde der analogen Unterhaltung, ich bin der Alex, neben mir sitzt der Richard, da kommen wir gleich zu. Ich möchte euch erst nochmal an der Stelle hier ganz herzlich begrüßen. Heute für uns der dritte Tag hier live auf der Messe, also der dritte Publikumstag Essen 2016. Ich freue mich wieder, dass ihr dabei seid und ich freue mich natürlich auch, wenn ihr dann diejenigen, die es hierher geschafft haben, dann auch nachher einfach mal vorbeischaut. Und gestern hatten wir ja noch einen Who and Friends Slot am Abend und da hat der ein oder andere vielleicht gesehen, dass es da noch einen Slot gab mit Key to the City of London und der Designer war gestern leider verhindert. Wir haben es uns aber nicht nehmen lassen, hier ihn noch mal herzuholen, damit ihr euch selber das Spiel vorstellen kann. Und ich werde jetzt auch gleich wieder ins Englische quasi umswitchen. Dann wird ihr euch das Spiel hier ein bisschen vorstellen. Wir werden noch die eine oder andere Anekdote dazu bringen. Und ja, lasst euch einfach mal überraschen, was es da quasi Neues gibt. So, hello Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, now we've got your games here. So, maybe a lot of the people know the key games. I call them Keyflow, probably is quite interesting and famous, I think so. And you've got another one is in this key series. We've got right here on our table. It's a London version of the game. So what's new about this version?
Okay, well, good morning again. Keyflow was a successful game. Was published first of all in 2012, and we've had a couple of big expansions. All of the previous Key games, for those of you who know them, there's been about 8 in the series so far. Have all been set in the medieval landscape of the Keydom. The new thing, as you mentioned, particularly in Key to the City of London, first of all there's a change in environment, and part of the reason for that is that during the game you're going to build up your own borough in London, and similar to Keyflow you're going to connect the tiles together, and you're also going to start connecting them with different coloured connectors. There are potentially 6 different types of connectors, and each of those represents something different, such as the London Underground, electricity, waste disposal, etc. So, for those of you who are familiar with Keyflow, there are a number of changes. It gives you a different feel to the balance. There's a lot more focus on building up your own borough as opposed to village, and the connections play a key part in that. But for those of you not familiar, I'll just run through briefly the sort of structure of the game.
So let us make a short break and we go into detail here and I show this one in detail.
Okay.
So can you please now go into the detail? Yes. Oh, cool. So, ja, für all die hier nochmal zeige ich das quasi nochmal, was er eben gesagt hat. Also natürlich eine große Sache, die sich hier geändert hat, ist das Thema. Wir sind jetzt also hier von dem ja mittelaltermäßigen Thema in die Neuzeit gewandert und ein großer Grund, warum hier dieser Themenwechsel stattfand, ist, dass es jetzt hier diese Verbindung gibt in unterschiedlichen Farben, die auch halt unterschiedliche Sachen repräsentieren, also so Elektrizitäts-, Stromverbindungen. I think this was underground.
Ja,
yeah. Ja, so, also hier so diese U-Bahn-Sachen und so. Und das ist natürlich dann an der Stelle quasi dann nur möglich gewesen, indem man auch das Thema gewechselt hat. Und ja, so go ahead and tell us just in a few sentences what are the core rules of the game.
Okay, well you start off with a single tile, and in order to get additional tiles you have to bid for the tiles, and this is the key mechanic, I think, one of the key mechanics which makes the game successful. You start the game with 10 of these coloured keeples. There are red, blue and yellow only, and you do not know which combinations of colours that each player has. So these are hidden behind my screen.
Yeah.
Now, in order to build up my borough, I need to get additional tiles. To get additional tiles, I have to bid for them. There are 6 sides on each tile, and the game will play from 2 to 6 players. Each player has their own side of one of the tiles. So for example, if I'm sitting in this position, this would probably be the side that I would relate to.
Yeah. So it's really cool mechanics.
So if I want to have this tile, I have to bid for it, and I put a worker or more workers' keeples on my side of the tile. If someone else wants this tile more than I do, they will place their own bid, For example, here they would have placed 2 keepers there, so they're now winning this bid. If you're winning a bid, your keepers have to stay there, but if you're losing a bid, you can move them to a different position on the same side, but on a different tile.
So they are not lost.
They're not lost. Everything is positive in this game. At the end of the season, the winning bids are removed.
Yeah.
But when you're bidding and counter bidding, always the colour of the keepers has to be the same colour. So this could be a counter bid. It always has to be the same colour in red. So once a colour has started being used on a tile, it always continues that way.
Cool.
Now, as well as bidding for the tiles, you can also use the tiles. And you use that by putting a keeper on the tile. So for example, this tile is generating a building skill tile, which is one of these.
Yeah.
I put that on there, that tile, I take the tile and I place that behind my screen. Some of the tiles will generate the connectors. So for example, on this tile, if I put the people on there, that would have generated a blue and a yellow connector.
Yeah.
The connectors are placed immediately onto my starting tile, which actually would be this one, like that. So you're building up the connectors, and as the eras pass, you will be connecting various tiles and building up your borough. Now, at the end of an era, there are 4 eras altogether. We've looked at the bidding for the tiles, we've looked at using the tiles. You can also upgrade the tiles. With the upgrading mechanism, it's similar but different to Keyflower. To upgrade a tile, you have to place a keeper on the tile, and you pay the upgrade cost, which is shown in the upgrade arrow, which is going to be a combination of connectors which are on the tile, or they may require a skill tile. Once the tile has been upgraded,
you flip it.
You've got the added bonus of victory points, and what's happening, you're getting more produce from the tile. It always shows you what's on the reverse of the tile in a little box at the top, so you never need to look over to see what's happening on that tile.
So we see here some cool buildings.
That's right.
They are victory points, I think, or?
That's correct. Yeah. These yellow background tiles will generate the connectors and the skill tiles. Yeah. In the 4 eras, in the first era there are 12 tiles with 4 players to bid for. The other tiles are point scoring tiles. Some of them will score points for the particular colour of connectors coming directly from this tile. So grey, and then it's upgraded, it's 2 points.
Yeah.
This one is slightly different. This one would score points for the number of tiles that are connected
in the world.
with that colour.
Okay.
Now the one that you were describing on here, this tile can be upgraded twice, so it needs 2 blue connectors and a skill tile. Can be upgraded again. This time it requires 3 connectors and a skill tile, and then
you get
the second upgrade is one of the buildings, and that would give you 12 victory points.
So it's a really cool thing that you've got these 3D standees over there. I think that's a quick brief overview of the game.
Very quickly, the last 2 things you can do is pass, but then you can set sail with your piece along to the next season. Once you've set sail, you cannot continue in the previous era. And then one of the people will gain this, and that will then go into the village or the borough that you're building up in front of you. And there are 4 eras in the game.
This game is also in German. They are asking us.
We have
German and
6
English
languages in the box. We also have a special illustrative booklet which tells you all about all of the places in there. In the 6 languages.
Genau, hier könnt ihr also sehen, gibt es nochmal so ein extra Heft, was ziemlich cool ist, ja auch immer gerne mal wieder gemacht wird, wo halt die ganzen Sehenswürdigkeiten beschrieben werden. Und da sieht man auch nochmal die ganzen schönen Illustrationen, die hier abgebildet sind, die auch auf den Teilen sind. Das war auch ein hartes Stück Arbeit. Ich habe mit Richard im Vorfeld darüber gesprochen. Das hat auch eine Illustratorin gemacht, die jetzt noch nicht rein im Brettspielbereich unterwegs war. Das war für sie auch eine neue Erfahrung und das ist auch ein Haufen Arbeit gewesen. Der Richard hat dann da auch ein bisschen bei geholfen, dass das alles dann auch richtig fertig wird. Es macht auf jeden Fall viel Spaß, aber man ist dann auch froh, wenn man damit fertig ist. Und ich habe ihn auch gefragt, ob er da vielleicht eine Berlin-Version von macht. Erstmal hat er davon genug, diese Illustration zu machen und wird aber auf jeden Fall noch weitere Key Games machen. So in the future you've got for the Key series more games coming.
So plans to be a new one for next year, but also this year there is a mini expansion for Keyflower with the two-colored key.
Und ihr seht hier, dass es auch noch eine kleine Erweiterung ist. On which booth we can find this game? Do you know? On the Huch and Friends booth, I think.
Yeah, from Hutter. I'm selling it on the R&D stand, which is in Hall 30101.
Genau, und ihr könnt sie natürlich auch am R&D Stand holen. Ja, thank you for coming here. Thank you for presenting our game. I think it looks beautiful. This infographic style I like a lot, so maybe that's why.
When you've played, you have to finish by putting all the tiles together for the map.
Yeah. Genau, und das ist die andere coole Sache. Man kann all diese Plättchen zu einer großen London-Karte zusammenpuzzeln. Und da gibt es sogar so schon einen Weltrekord, könnte man an der Stelle sagen. Der liegt ungefähr bei 13 Minuten 40, 50 Sekunden. All die Teile schnell zusammenzupuzzeln. Also wer das Spiel besitzt, kann zu Hause mal den Timer stellen und versuchen, das Puzzle zusammenzusetzen. Und dann schreibt uns doch einfach mal, wie schnell ihr wart, das Puzzle hier fertig zu puzzeln. Dann bedanke ich mich erstmal an der Stelle. Wir bauen jetzt kurz um und dann geht es gleich weiter. Ich gucke hier mal.